The World Humanitarian Forum is an organisation focused on building bridges between international NGOs and those working in Muslim-majority countries. Currently in its fledgling stages, the Forum is rapidly expanding to bring on board more organisations.
I think this is a very important project and I hope that it will lead to a much better understanding of how funds can flow to organisations in the Islamic world, but also how organisations like Oxfam can work with Islamic Relief, other partners in the region and also the British Red Cross.
Developing ideas put forward in informal discussions amongst NGOs, the World Humanitarian Forum began by exploring how bridges could be built between NGOs in the West and in the Muslim world. Issues relating to transparency, accountability, and the proper governance of the NGO sector in the Muslim world had never been discussed openly, and inroads into the way these organisations operated needed to be made to ensure better service to donors and beneficiaries.
Well, I think this is a key opportunity for Islamic NGOs and Western NGOs to get together and really start working together with real understanding between us about different cultures, different ways of operating, and a chance, I think, to build Islamic NGOs into the international relief system in a way that hasn't happened up till now. I think it's a really exciting opportunity for all of us.
The Forum has developed from focusing on forming partnerships between NGOs in the West and in Muslim-majority countries, to a coalition of organisations working together to build cross-cultural bridges and boost capacities. It seeks to support NGOs to achieve their full potential in the humanitarian field, ultimately for the sake of the beneficiaries across the world who continue to suffer because of the lack of coordination.
Humanitarian Forum is trying to bridge this gap and to build the real partnership between the Muslim non-government organization, between the Muslim community and the international community, where all of us will become equal, valuable member of the forum and will be able to have this window opportunity to bring the small players to the scene to feel that they are equally respected by the international community as well as the international humanitarian movement.
The first meeting of the Forum, held in London on the 29th and 30th of May 2005, brought together NGO delegates from around the world under the banner of building partnerships between Muslim NGOs and the international community. The World Humanitarian Forum was set up to combat suspicions and to create a neutral setting where the leading humanitarian actors from across the globe could come together to discuss problems and hammer out solutions. Key figures from a wide range of backgrounds contributed to the discussions on post-9/11 issues that are affecting the international humanitarian community and the Muslim-run humanitarian sector in particular. The conference highlighted the significant need to engage directly with NGOs in their own setting and to listen to them on their own terrain, highlighting the key issues that are affecting them on the ground. Only by listening to the authentic voice of affected NGOs would it be possible to address their needs.
And a lot of bridge building between Western and Muslim NGOs who learn from each other what the problems are, what the solutions are, how to work closely with people. And I think this is brilliant, and there's a very good atmosphere in the hall. I think there's a lot of people who are enthusiastic, and I think good will come of it.
After the first conference in London, the following 6 months saw furious activity, with the Forum travelling to 13 countries across the globe, convening workshops to inform participants about the Forum, but also to build vital relationships. It was an opportunity to listen to the views and suggestions of community-based organisations and ensure maximum representation of the humanitarian community. The workshops were attended by a Prime Minister, ministers, ambassadors, and NGOs and civil society organisations. For most participants, the workshops were their first opportunity to meet other NGOs, since the majority of organisations have poor communication and coordination. For many delegates, the open and honest dialogue that was stimulated by the Forum at the workshops was the most rewarding experience. They also could take away knowledge of key concepts such as transparency and accountability.
And for this, we are ready to do training, we are ready to do capacity building, enhance information management between UN and Islamic NGOs, and we hope that all of us will benefit from that a lot.
The findings from the workshops were then presented on the 2nd of May 2006 at the British Red Cross headquarters in London. Key organisational issues were discussed, such as the proposed structure, logistical issues, and the way forward for the forum. Crucially, a steering committee made up of representatives of leading NGOs in both the Muslim and non-Muslim world was nominated. The purposes of the forum will be driven forward by experienced practitioners in the humanitarian field.
I think it's important to organize and maintain a strong dialogue between Islamic-based NGOs and the rest of the world. Clearly, Muslim-based NGOs have a lot to offer in terms of international humanitarian work, and we, particularly in the West, I think, in the British Red Cross, feel strongly about this need to find ways and means of establishing meaningful partnerships.
A follow-up meeting in Geneva in June 2006 decided who would facilitate the 5 modules agreed as the focus of the forum's actions. The modules decided upon are coordination and cooperation, humanitarian policies and standards, regulatory issues, capacity building and training, and confidence building. The forum has gathered support from key figures, humanitarian and political, from across the Muslim and non-Muslim world. It is hoped that new participants with the ability to bring even more experience to the table will be welcomed in the near future.
Participation by all community-based organisations and NGOs is hugely important to the Humanitarian Forum because it gives the opportunity for these community-based organisations to air their concerns, and the purpose of the Humanitarian Forum is to address those concerns.
The World Humanitarian Forum has finally given an opportunity to the grassroots workers to air their vital opinions and be heard with respect. Previously, CBOs carried out the instructions of people in boardrooms on the other side of the world. Now, through the World Humanitarian Forum, they will be better trained and organised to better represent themselves in the international humanitarian arena. The best advocates for the beneficiaries are those who live and work amongst them. The World Humanitarian Forum is, at its heart, committed to ensuring that all voices are heard. The opportunity to make a difference is there. The World Humanitarian Forum has accepted the challenge, and it is now for all of us to come together and end the divide which has, for so long, prevented us from achieving our full potential. Only by doing so can we beat the real enemies: hunger, despair, chronic poverty, and so many of the other ills which blight our society. In years to come, true partnership based on equality will be the bedrock of all societies. The World Humanitarian Forum is committed to ensuring that all humanitarian workers are treated as equals. By achieving this amongst ourselves, we can offer greater hope to the beneficiary. We can then work more effectively towards transforming the lives of those we have committed to serve.